Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, Tzu Chi medical team's assistance to quake survivors inspired Nepalese doctors to join forces and help their countrymen. Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan extended invitations to religious representatives and care recipients to attend the organization's tri-celebrations. Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia delivered a multi-purpose folding bed to help an impoverished family in Kuala Krau. Two weeks have passed since Nepal was struck by a strong quake, and Tzu Chi's disaster relief and medical team continues to offer their assistance in disaster-stricken areas. Touched by the medical team's selfless dedication, many Nepalese doctors took the initiative to join Tzu Chi's free clinics.
An unpleasant odor comes from these bed sores. This 32-year-old woman has been bedridden due to the injuries caused by the quake. As the woman has been lying in this hot and humid tent for days, a large area of her body is infected and has started to fester.
If we don't clean up the wounds now, bacteria will sneak into her blood, which might lead to sepsis. Her family told me that she has already received emergency treatment twice.
Doctors at Tzu Chi's disaster relief and medical team from Taiwan clean and redress the woman's wounds.
Sorry.
Doctors apologize to the woman while redressing her wounds because they know the pain and suffering she is going through. Seeing these Taiwanese doctors treating patients like their own family, local doctor near the soul says he has learned an important and valuable lesson.
The name of this organization is Tzu Chi Buddhist Foundation, but this organization is not promoting any religion. Either this is not working for money or for name or for religion. So that's the good thing.
In the wake of the strong quake, instead of opening his 2 clinics for business, 31-year-old Near the Soul decided to volunteer alongside the Blue and White-clad angels from Taiwan to help his fellow countrymen in disaster-stricken areas.
I was informed about this foundation. I thought it's a very small NGO, but when I started working, it looks like a very big one.
Although the tremor has caused massive destruction in Nepal, it has also inspired many kind-hearted people, including Near the Soul, to follow Tzu Chi's disaster relief and medical team to bring much-needed medical aid and emotional support to quake survivors. 2 weeks have passed since the country was struck by a devastating earthquake. However, the 72-year-old senior is still in shock. Removing gauze from the senior's wounded left hand, the doctors are surprised to see a hand that has turned purple and black. The wrinkles on the grandma's face shows the hardship she has encountered in life. Among the volunteer doctors is Savij, a local doctor.
Each doctor is like the medicine Buddha. I think all of them know that it is their duty to relieve pain and suffering.
Savij, who received medical training in Taiwan, speaks fluent Chinese. When the earthquake struck Nepal, Savij was in Taiwan. Upon learning of the incident, Savij quickly traveled to Hualien to meet with Master Zheng Yan.
When I got to the Jinsi abode in Hualien, I realized that Tzu Chi volunteers had everything already planned. I'm extremely grateful to Tzu Chi for holding free clinics here, because we cannot treat all the injured quake survivors by ourselves.
By working alongside medical personnel from Taiwan over the past week, Savij has not only formed a strong bond with the doctors, but also become a part of the team. Also lending a helping hand at Tzu Chi's free clinic is Savij's wife, Rachita, who is also a doctor.
Oh, it's very wonderful. I am working with Tzu Chi for 3-4 days, and it is very wonderful. They are helping us a lot, and we are coordinating with them. It's a great opportunity.
In the days and weeks to come, Tzu Chi's disaster relief and medical team will continue working to awaken and inspire compassion within individuals in this disaster-torn country.
In Bhaktapur City, volunteers have been caring for residents living in tent communities and recently have invited them to join Tzu Chi's cash work program by helping prepare Tzu Chi's instant rice for community members. Life following the earthquake has been unbearably difficult for residents in Bhaktapur city, who are currently living in tents that have been pitched on open ground. This is what life has been like since the quake.
Quake survivors are receiving basic food supplies, but it's mainly rice and potatoes, and residents are craving vegetables. The instant rice we brought contains vegetables, so we are teaching them how to cook it.
Tzu Chi volunteers invited residents to take part in a cash for work program, helping prepare meals for fellow quake survivors. Tzu Chi's instant rice coupled with simple vegetable sides was enough to fill stomachs and warm hearts.
We all are suffering from earthquake. Then we have to struggle many problems, so that we want to help each other.
Many people lost their houses, as well as their food, clothes and shelters, everything. So we like to help everybody here, not only in this city, we like to help overall this country, and we are helping as a volunteer.
Apart from tending to the locals' current needs, volunteers have also made it their mission to settle their hearts. This almost 80 square meter tent has been donated to World Vision by the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter to provide children with a temporary learning center. Despite the high temperature outside, an endless chorus of children's laughter can be heard emitting from the tent.
This place is a place we're going to run for, I think, more than 3 months, and this place will also be turned to a temporary learning center, so we know that children cannot get back to school because the school has all the cracks.
Although most of Nepal still lies in ruins, the true spirit and camaraderie of the Nepalese and Tzu Chi volunteers is going a long way to help heal emotional scars, rebuild lives and restore hope to this land. Go, go, go! As residents' lives slowly return to normal in and around Kathmandu, other problems are arising as a result of the massive earthquake on April 25th, including the lack of surgical masks and the terrible road conditions. Our diary reporter brings you the latest news from the quake-torn area.
This road originally was flat and wide. However, following the recent earthquake, the ground is no longer even.
Any vehicle that travels through here must slow down to pass, as this major road leading to the airport has been damaged in many places.
After the earthquake, the roads are more difficult to drive on. Many of the streets have been damaged.
10 in the morning is Kathmandu's morning rush hour, and the streets are filled with traffic. In Nepal, they drive on the left side. Public transportation uses black plates, while private cars have red plates. Traffic conditions were already bad before the earthquake, but now that many of the roads have been damaged, traveling around the region has only gotten worse. In Kathmandu, a short bus ride costs 15 rupees, while a long trip costs 20. Other options for transportation are the auto rickshaw or walking. However, walking looks to be dangerous even with a crosswalk. The broken infrastructure has put a damper on the already congested roads, as survivors look to slowly regain normalcy in their lives. Meanwhile, another issue local residents are dealing with is the bad air quality in and around Kathmandu. With smoke and dust in the air in the aftermath of the earthquake, residents here have donned masks to protect themselves against inhaling harmful substances.
I was wearing masks before the earthquake happened, because the sanitation in this area isn't too great. I'm wearing one because I'm afraid of infectious disease.
To meet soaring demands, the store owner displays his masks in a prominent place. He sells each mask for 20 rupees, which is approximately 31 US cents.
The price of surgical masks is the same as before the earthquake, but recently they have been selling well, so there's been a slight problem in restocking them. Currently, there are plenty of these reusable cloth masks, but what about these disposable surgical masks?
Do you have this kind of mask?
A bigger pharmacy has a few boxes of surgical masks in stock, but they cost about $3.80 US a box.
We
lack supplies right now, but we are thinking of different outlets to restock our inventory.
With the terrible road conditions and masks in low supply, local residents do what they can to protect themselves and their families in the aftermath of the earthquake.
To celebrate Mother's Day, volunteers in Xindian made carnations with recycled plastic bags to give away at recycling stations and tourist hotspots. Upon receiving this creative gift, many people were impressed by the eco-friendly work.
Guess what are these carnations made of? Recycling volunteers have the answer. Turning recycled plastic bags into beautiful flowers takes creative effort and skill. The first step of creating the petals is the most challenging.
We tear the plastic bag without breaking it to create the petal edges. Then we open and stretch it. We then fold it 3 times and then turn it over.
It takes 3 hours to make a bundle of carnations, but the recycling volunteers made more than 400 of them to be given away at recycling stations.
We have to thank the recycling volunteers for making hundreds of these carnations. These carnations will last for a long time.
The mothers at the recycling stations loved the carnations. The volunteers also gave some to shop owners and tourists who were impressed by the gifts. Made with efforts to cherish Mother Earth, these carnations have become another creative and unique Mother's Day gift.
The Tzu Chi Foundation will be holding its Buddha Day, Mother's Day and Global Tzu Chi Day tri-celebration in Taipei on May 10th. And Tzu Chi volunteers are inviting guests, including religious representatives, to take part. But let's first join Tzu Chi volunteers as they invite care recipients to join the ceremony.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting Miss Xu, who suffers from depression. Today, they came to encourage her to attend the Buddha Day ceremony.
She is in despair. We came to see how she is doing and also to invite her to attend the Buddha Day ceremony with her mother.
Turning to Xinzhuang district, where Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting Miss Chiu.
We came to invite her and her family to attend the Buddha Day ceremony at the Tzu Chi Xintai Liaison Office.
Tzu Chi volunteers hope all their care recipients can experience the auspiciousness and joy of the Buddha Day ceremony. Tzu Chi volunteers also headed to Guangshou Monastery to invite the monastics there to attend the tri-celebration on Sunday, with the Dharma masters gladly accepted the invitation.
Tzu Chi welcomes all Dharma masters, and I think it's a breakthrough. Master Zhen Yan has a very broad mind and doesn't just cultivate herself. She hopes everyone can walk the Bodhisattva path.
Huxian Lecture Hall's Dharma Master Jing Yao will also be chanting a prayer at the tri-celebration.
The Flower Garland Sutra says that all is created by the mind. Natural disasters arise from people's evil thoughts. If we can gather people's kind thoughts at any occasion, then evil thoughts will disappear.
The Buddha Day ceremony helps introduce Buddhist rituals and concepts to the public.
西佛用这个音乐会讲起来是较温馨哦。
We can describe this ceremony as a musical event, so the public will not think the ceremony is too solemn. It's a different way to teach people about Buddhism. Songs reflect life. We hope members of the public will come together to sing beautiful songs and lead good lives.
As Dharma masters gather to honor the Buddha at the tri-celebration, their compassion will make the ceremony a more auspicious occasion.
In preparation for the upcoming Buddha Day ceremony in Malaysia, which expects to see the participation of over 10,000 people, the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter has summoned volunteers to help make 15,000 steamed buns and rolls, which will be given out as gifts to ceremony participants come Sunday. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the local Tzu Chi chapter has mobilized 250 shifts of volunteers to make 10,000 steamed buns and 5,000 rolls.
I had some last year and they taste pretty good, so I'm helping out this year. It will taste even better this year.
Not everyone here is an expert. It's really our united effort. As everyone works together, our hearts are filled with joy as we get to bond with over 10,000 people.
Chen Fenfen, who suffers from frozen shoulder, goes home aching at the end of the day, but she has her ways of coping.
My shoulders will be aching, so I will put on some ornament and rely on gua sha. This way, I'll be better the next day. My goal is to see this project through. I think to be able to bond with so many people on Buddha Day is a blessing.
Nazli from Iran is pursuing a PhD in Malaysia. Thanks to the invitation by the English-speaking volunteers, this will be her first time learning how to make steamed buns.
Good thing is we are doing it in teamwork. For personal part is everybody take care of me. Everybody is just pay attention. Hey, please do it in this way, do it in that way. So it's making like I really feel beloved here.
The buns and rolls are filled with love and blessings of these volunteers, which will go on to enrich the spirit of all those participating in Tzu Chi's upcoming Buddha Day celebration. Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia delivered a folding bed to a family in Kuala Krau in the wake of the December floods, and the family uses it day and night. Volunteers recently brought this family a second folding bed, giving the young girl in the family her own bed to sleep on.
Before Tzu Chi volunteers' visit 4 months ago, Madula's family had never owned a bed or chair.
This is the first time I've touched my own bed, and it feels incredible.
4 months ago, Tzu Chi volunteers brought a folding bed for Madula's family, who had been affected by recent floods, and it became both their bed and sofa.
I've been sleeping on the concrete floor for 10 years, and I'm glad to be able to sleep on a bed now.
Madula also uses the folding bed as a sofa during the day.
I bring it out to sit on as I watch TV every day. I'm glad to have this folding bed as we do not have a chair.
Madula enjoys sitting on the folding bed while she watches TV and washes vegetables. The children also play and study on the folding bed.
It was uncomfortable to sit on the concrete floor. With 2 folding beds, we don't have to keep moving them. Children can sit while doing their homework.
This family can now use the 2 folding beds for study and rest, leaving behind the days when they were without a chair or bed.
Following on from our last report, volunteers also recently traveled to Pahang to hand out more of Tzu Chi's folding beds. And at a recent home visitation, students from a Muslim school also joined the volunteers to learn more about selfless giving.
Easy to transport and put away, the folding bed Rahima received from Tzu Chi was something she saved for her grandson to use. However, recently, Tzu Chi volunteers came back with another bed, this one especially for her.
Tzu Chi continues to give us relief. We received a bed and 2 blankets before, and now another bed. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much.
Tzu Chi volunteers are determined to meet the needs of the disaster survivors by visiting them door to door.
We want to see how they are currently doing. Have their lives improved after the flood? Is the folding bed easy to use?
是不是个好好的利用？
Baik ma, main dah sebelah belakang tak sakit. Belakang tak sakit. Baik sembuh lah. Boleh takkan? Baguslah. Aci awak tidur terus tidur. Ya. Pakai lagi ya. Ya.
On this third home visitation, students from a Muslim school tagged along with the Tzu Chi volunteers so that they too can learn more about helping the needy.
I'm very happy that I have the ability to help others.
The folding bed is really important, especially for those who are handicapped. They are unable to sleep on the floor, so Tzu Chi's folding bed is very important for them.
In the aftermath of the flooding, volunteers helped clean up their school.
Because of the flood, Tzu Chi and the school became friends. Volunteers helped the school resume classes for students. So I hope the students can become volunteers as well as further spread the message of helping those around you.
In the years to come, this lasting friendship will surely bear more volunteers to benefit society.
Next, we meet Zahidima of Malaysia, who was one of the survivors of the December floods. When Tzu Chi offered financial aid to flood survivors, Zahidima took her share and used it to expand the grocery store that she owns. Let's now return to see how she's doing.
Here in Pahang, Malaysia, the right side of this home was expanded into a grocery shop. 1/4 of the money for this construction project came from Tzu Chi's financial aid given to last December's flood survivors.
Tzu Chi gave me 1,000 ringgit. If I spend it on clothes or food, it will be gone, and people will not be able to see how Tzu Chi has helped us. But in expanding my home, everyone can see that we have been helped by Tzu Chi.
Before the store's expansion, the space was small and could not accommodate many people or much inventory.
Sebelum ni macam letak macam ni lah.
The setup was double stacked before. When customers came in to buy something from the back stack, we would move it aside. We can only fit 3 or 4 customers in at a time before. Now it is much more spacious.
During this visit, volunteers brought a second folding bed, but she decided to donate it to others in need.
We need to think about those less fortunate than us. We've already received help before. We shouldn't ask for too much. Otherwise, there's not enough on this planet to appease all our wants.
Volunteers also brought a blanket, which keeps the recipient's husband warm at night while he's on duty as a security guard.
If I'm sitting, I will drape it over me like this. When it rains, it's very cold.
Sebelum ni memang rumah tak ada selimut.
Yes, but it was a small blanket. We don't have bigger ones that I can take with me. My wife needs them.
This family is well on their way to rebuilding their lives with the help of Tzu Chi.
Prior to Mother's Day, Tzu Chi volunteers visited the Kaohsiung Municipal Renwu Special School and organized a Thanksgiving ceremony for students to show their appreciation to their teachers. We leave you with these images at the end of today's program. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.